The fog thickened, tendrils of mist snaking their way around the car, enveloping it in a suffocating embrace. The wisps of fog swirled and coiled, creating ghostly shapes that danced along the edges of the forest, casting eerie shadows that seemed to have a life of their own. The radio crackled, emitting static-filled whispers that mingled with the haunting silence of the night. I stretched out my hand to turn it off, but before I could, a voice, distorted and ominous, cut through the crackling, a voice that spoke of ancient curses and untold horrors, sending a shiver down my spine. The road ahead twisted and turned, a ribbon of asphalt winding through the ancient woods. The trees loomed like silent sentinels, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers, casting elongated shadows that clawed at the edges of my vision. A sense of foreboding settled in, each passing moment thickening the air with an oppressive weight. As I navigated a sharp bend, a figure darted across the road, a fleeting glimpse of a shadowy form that vanished into the dense undergrowth. My heart skipped a beat as I slammed on the brakes, scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. But the forest remained still, draped in an unsettling silence, pierced only by the haunting rustle of leaves and the distant howl of a lone wolf. A sudden chill swept through the car as the headlights flickered, their feeble beams threatening to succumb to the encroaching darkness. I muttered a desperate plea, my breath hitching as I prepared for the inevitable blackout. Yet, just as I braced for the void, the lights steadied, casting a trembling beam onto the road ahead. A distant sound, barely audible at first, rumbled from the heart of the woods, a low, guttural growl that reverberated through the night air. My pulse quickened, a cold sweat breaking across my skin as I stole nervous glances at the rearview mirror, half expecting to glimpse something lurking in the shadows behind me. Then, as if summoned by the abyss itself, a tapping, a faint, rhythmic tapping, emanated from the passenger window. My heart raced in my chest as I turned slowly, eyes widening in terror to find nothing but the impenetrable darkness pressing against the glass, the tapping persisting, growing louder, more insistent with each passing moment. With trembling hands, I fumbled for the door lock, the suspense hanging heavy in the air like a suffocating fog. Each movement felt amplified, every creak of the car a deafening symphony of dread. The tapping persisted, growing louder, more urgent, as if daring me to unveil the horrors that lurked beyond the thin barrier of the window. The Texas Panhandle unfurled before us like an untouched canvas, its vastness both captivating and eerie. The road, a sinuous line etched upon the landscape, seemed to stretch into infinity, flanked by endless plains and a sky that spanned from horizon to horizon, adorned with stars that blinked like distant beacons. Our journey began as a spontaneous escapade, a college road trip tinged with excitement and the allure of the unknown. The landscape unfolded its secrets as we drove, each mile revealing a new facet of this remote region, a land of contrasts where beauty and desolation intertwined in an inexplicable dance. The decision to embark on this nocturnal drive, while seemingly reckless in hindsight, held a thrill that beckoned us forward. The late hour heightened the mystique of the land, casting an otherworldly aura upon the scenery that blurred past our car windows. Hours melted away, conversations waxed and waned, and the clock's hands ticked past midnight. As fatigue threatened to claim our senses, the fuel gauge dipped perilously low, prompting the realization that we were at the mercy of finding the next gas station in this barren expanse. And then, like a mirage materializing in the desert, the flickering glow of the gas sign emerged from the darkness. Relief surged through us as we approached the solitary outpost, its presence a beacon of hope amidst the desolate landscape. But hope quickly twisted into a chilling scene. The gaunt, forlorn cats, their hollow eyes fixated on our arrival, an eerie tableau that spoke volumes of neglect and desolation. Their desperation clawed at our hearts, imprinting a haunting image upon our memories. The proprietor, an enigmatic figure shrouded in a bizarre ensemble, greeted us with a presence that exuded both peculiarity and an inexplicable sense of danger. The clash of eccentric attire and the ominous silhouette of the shotgun created an unsettling dichotomy, freezing us in a moment of disbelief. The decision to flee was instinctual, a primal urge to escape the surreal and potentially perilous situation. The screech of tires against gravel echoed through the night as we sped away, leaving behind the haunting gas station and its bizarre inhabitants. In the aftermath, adrenaline surged through our veins, rendering us both exhilarated and shaken. We drove in silence, the weight of the encounter hanging heavy in the air, occasionally broken by nervous laughter or whispered conversations. Yet, as the miles passed, the night gradually relinquished its hold on us. The panorama outside transformed with the rising sun, painting the horizon in hues of amber and gold. The lingering sense of dread dissipated with the dawn, replaced by a newfound resolve to embrace the journey ahead. Each subsequent stop along the road offered a chance to shake off the remnants of that eerie encounter. We sought refuge in vibrant towns, engaged with locals whose stories and warmth infused our spirits with newfound courage and a sense of adventure. With each passing moment, the memory of the gas station faded into the tapestry of our escapades, becoming a mere chapter in the epic tale of our road trip. The journey, with its highs and lows, continued to unfold, weaving together a mosaic of unforgettable experiences that would forever define that surreal night in the heart of the Texas Panhandle. It was a night draped in a thick, impenetrable cloak of darkness, where the ink-black sky held no stars, no guiding lights, leaving the road ahead an abyss waiting to swallow the unsuspecting traveler. Just 20 years of age, embarking on a journey back home, a seemingly routine 8-hour drive through a patchwork of desolate highways and silent, unyielding stretches of land. But this night, destined to etch itself into memory, had its own clandestine plot waiting to unfurl. The expedition kicked off with a sense of purpose, the engine's steady thrum a comforting companion amidst the desolation. Hours slipped by, the road weaving its enigmatic path through the night until an unexpected twist manifested, a roadblock stemming from a traffic mishap, ensnaring the traveler in an unforeseen web of circumstance. Stranded amid the desolate expanse, the prospect of lodging dwindled into the abyss of impossibility. As the cloak of night thickened and the clock's hands tiptoed past the eerie hour, an inconspicuous silhouette materialized in the traveler's rearview mirror, a car emerging like a specter from the shadows. Initially dismissed as a mere co-traveler navigating the nocturnal labyrinth, this vehicular phantom gradually morphed into an unsettling constant, a relentless shadow dogging their every turn. A mandatory halt at a forsaken gas station, a futile attempt to ward off encroaching weariness, unraveled the first strands of disquiet. Across the deserted expanse, the haunting glare of the trailing car's headlights pierced the night, a piercing, unblinking gaze fixated on the traveler's every move. A tremor of unease quivered within, yet lacking evidence to substantiate the creeping suspicions, the journey soldiered forth. Miles melted into obscurity, yet the ominous tailing persisted, its presence an unwelcome and unnerving companion. A pause at a desolate rest area transmuted into a nerve-wracking standoff, the car stationed at the entrance, a silent sentinel casting a foreboding shadow upon the traveler's path. In a frantic bid for reassurance, the traveler sought counsel from family, desperation fueling their plea for guidance. From this frenzied exchange emerged a desperate strategy, a series of left turns, a gambit aimed at unraveling the intentions of the elusive pursuer, a final act of defiance against the encroaching fear. Each turn, once laden with a glimmer of hope, birthed only escalating dread as the car mimicked every maneuver, a sinister specter haunting the night. The distant glow of the police station's entrance offered a flicker of salvation. Relief intertwined with apprehension as the traveler sought sanctuary within the protective walls of law enforcement. In a heart-stopping moment, the chase abruptly ceased. The enigmatic pursuer, their motives cloaked in anonymity, vanished into the ether, leaving behind a lingering trail of unanswered questions and unspoken fears. The sanctuary of the station granted a temporary reprieve, yet the haunting encounter lingered, a chilling testament to the traveler's psyche. Despite alerting the authorities, the mystery of the relentless follower remained an unsolved riddle, a haunting saga of a journey that began as a mere expedition but dissolved into a disconcerting dance with the unknown, an enduring cautionary tale echoing through the lonely nocturnal corridors of the highways.